Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly job and career guidance seminar. Uh, Today we have with us Mr. Ubaid. He is a senior finance manager at a renowned MNC. So he'll be conducting a session on interviewing skills. So welcome, Mr. Ubaid. Thanks a lot for joining. It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm really excited to learn this tips from you regarding interviewing skills. Before we go ahead, just let me give a quick 2 minutes introduction to PSF. So PSF is a NGO formed by IT as well as non-IT professionals. So the main aim and objective of PSF is for professionals to be able to utilize their skills and for their own self development as well as for the society. So that is one of the main aims that we have. So we have many chapters. One of the chapter is the Hyderabad team. Uh, we have also in Delhi and Mumbai, but Hyderabad, the PSF is having more than 500 professionals. We have 2000 plus job seekers uh, which are connected to us through 10 different WhatsApp groups. So we have Hyderabad WhatsApp group as well as overseas WhatsApp groups where we post all the job openings that we get on a regular basis. We have moderators for moderating those groups. Please get in touch if you are looking for a job and you want to get added to one of those job groups. And mainly, these are the spheres of activity that we do, PSF. So this session essentially belongs to job and career guidance. So job and career guidance, as you know, is helping job seekers to get their jobs. So as part of job and career guidance, we have weekly webinars, we have job drives that we conduct. So we are planning for one job drive probably in a week or two, and then we have our so that is for the job and career guidance, and then we have services to professional fraternity. That is one area that we work. Startup consulting is another area that we work on. Social service is also a very important area that we work on. We also conduct industry facing workshops where we go to colleges and give the seminars and present them the latest skills that are there in market. So those are the areas that we work on. Yeah, so that was a quick introduction. So over to you, Ubez bhai. Thanks a lot for this session. I'll stop sharing and then you can start sharing.
Thank you very much, Hassan bhai. So, good morning, everyone. Uh, First of all, welcome to this session. And before we start off this session, my basic introduction has already been given by Brother Hassan. So, I would like to take a few questions from you. If anyone of you have attended the interview recently, like before the lockdown or after the lockdown is lifted. So, what was the interview all about? And if you have been rejected in the interview, then what was the feedback that you have been given? And what were the questions being asked? Couple of questions that is being asked in the interview. If you can just put it in the chat box, so it will be easy for us to start our conversation. If any one of you have attended the interview, so what was the conversation with the HR, and what were the questions being asked? And if you got rejected, then what was the reason for the rejection? What was the feedback given by the HR? You can just put it in the chat box. That will help us drive our conversation so that I can help you give more tips as to how to answer those frequently asked questions in the interview. I'll give 1 minute for any questions. If no questions, then we can start off.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, from my
Grant,
side, recently I've gave a video interview.
very
They
nice.
took
Yes.
one, they took a 1 hour interview for me. But the thing is, they asked me all the related technical things. So out of that, I gave all the answers. Anyhow, I will got feedback that I'm overqualified for that. So may I know
What was
what?
your qualification?
It's MBA.
You
Actually,
are
it's
MBA and you appeared for
yeah,
a technical interview.
actually it's for RPA, robotic process automation.
Okay, artificial intelligence, AI.
Yeah, Blue Prism.
Yes, yes, yes. I know something
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. Okay.
So,
So they said that you are overqualified. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
You have any experience?
yeah. I have experience of 6 years.
Okay. And this was a role for
Three.
the freshers?
No, I don't know exactly. They asked for developers, so I gave the interview. After getting
Okay.
know that I'm overqualified for that. So the thing is, my question is from my side is they asked me out of 50 questions. I think there are three
Mm-hmm.
HRs.
Mm-hmm.
I gave all the answers. None
Mm.
of the question is like that. I have not missed anyone. So, my question is, do we need to give all the answers in the interview, or do we need to leave?
Yes, very good question, first of all. So normally you don't have to, it's not necessary to basically answer all the questions, right? Let's say if HR is asking you 10 questions, out of 10 questions, even if you give like 6 right answers and 4 wrong answers, that doesn't matter, because mostly the HR mentality is they want to select you, they don't want to reject you. Okay, because they also have a pressure from the management side, because they need people to come and work on the project. So they want to hire people as soon as possible. So HR's mentality or HR's target is basically to hire people, not to reject them. So that's the HR's mentality. Second thing is what they look at. It's not just about the, if you're giving an interview for the technical process or non-technical process. So they are not very much concerned about the, your knowledge. Okay, especially if it's a freshers interview, or even if it's a experience interview, they are not pretty much very much concerned about your knowledge about the product or the services that company is providing. First of all, what they want to look at it, how is your communication skills? That first criteria. Okay, how are you speaking? Are you fluent? You have any grammatical errors? Would you be able to talk to people properly? Your presentation skills, how you're presenting yourself. This is first thing. Second thing is your stability. Basically, if I want to hire you, I would like to see that you stay in the organization for long term. So if you are appearing for an interview and you have a 6 years experience and you're applying for a freshers role or a role that doesn't fit their criteria, so they would think that this person will not be stable in the company, in the organization, because he's already having a lot of experience, and joining here with a and working with low experienced people will further demotivate him and he will leave at some point of time. So whenever you're going for the interview, just first find out the details of the interview, whether that interview is for the freshers or the experienced candidates. If it is for the experienced candidate, then find out how much experience they are actually looking for. You have a 6 years experience and you're applying for an interview, and they are only looking for people with 3 years experience, 2 years experience, then you're certainly overqualified. So just check the qualification criteria for that interview and do not degrade yourself. If you have a 6 years experience, go to that level and apply. Do not apply at a lower level, because you will be definitely, they will disqualify you because you are overqualified. So that could be the reason. So whenever you go for the interview, just check the details, what qualification criteria is for the interview. I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so if they ask 50 questions, not necessarily you have to answer all the 50 questions right. you know Sometimes you may go wrong as well. That doesn't matter. They look for your confidence, your communication skills, your stability. And then comes the other part. in terms of job profile and job role and all those things, because they know that, anyways, once we hire him, we are going to train him. So even if you are going wrong on some questions, that doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks a
very,
lot.
very good. Very good question. Any other question? Any one of you attended any interview in the recent past and have some experience to share? Shoaib Khan and
Uday bhai, what if our salary, which we are currently drawing, is much higher than what they are right now giving, right? So, is there a way for us, like if I'm a desperate person, I need a job. So, can I tell him that I am okay with a lower salary from what I'm getting right now? I'll
it's okay if they are willing to hire you. Let's say, if your salary, take home salary is 30K and they're offering you 25K, okay, 5K less, and it doesn't matter for you because you are in need of job. If they are willing to hire you, it's okay, but you should still negotiate that, boss, I was withdrawing 30K per month in my previous job, so I would at least expect, because normally as per the market standard, they should give 15 to 20% hike. In these scenarios, they should at least give 10% hike, because of this pandemic and all. There are no a lot of job openings for experienced candidates and all, so they can at least offer 10 to 15% hike. But giving less than what the person was already withdrawing is like, it's not good. Actually, they should not do that. In case if you get that kind of an offer and if you are willing to join because you are in need of job, so as long as they are willing to take you, I think there shouldn't be any problem. But you should negotiate. And how to negotiate? You have to showcase your skills, your achievements, what you have done in previous organization. You have to find out few of the problems of that business where you are where you are getting hired, for which you are giving the interview. Just try to solve their business problems. I mean, just ask them, I mean, you're taking me for this role, so what are the challenges that you're facing in this role that you want me to support you? uh, this is for experienced candidates basically. They will give you some challenges. This is what we are facing. You try to resolve them based on your experience. You just give them some suggestions. This is what we have done in my previous organization to resolve this particular issue. So you have to showcase your talents, your skills, and your achievements in your previous organization. That would drive you a job, as well as a good salary or a negotiable salary basically. As long as they feel that you are a candidate of their requirement and you fit in their requirement, then definitely they will not lose you. Then you have the upper hand to demand for the hike as well.
Okay, thanks.
So I understand in these tough times, the organizations and the companies are actually asking people to compromise on their packages and all that. So that is happening. Again, it based on the requirement. If somebody wants to join as soon as possible, then they can compromise on the package. All right, so we'll start off. Good start. So we had two good questions. I will just share my screen. There's a present PPT presentation. Let me know once you all are able to view my screen.
Yes, we are able to see.
You're able to view, right? Okay. So whenever you get an interview opportunity, interview call or an email, so first of all, you have to do a pre-interview preparation. So what you have to do in pre-interview preparation, just see this quotation that I wrote over here. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. So basically, you have to prepare for the interview. You cannot just go to the interview without preparation. So how do you prepare? First and foremost important thing is get the job description from the HR. Okay. Normally, when you get an email or when you get a call from the HR for the interview, they will give you a job description. They will tell you that we are hiring for this role for technical support, basic troubleshooting, or finance and accounts, and this is the job profile, this is what you have to do, and they will arrange an interview. In case if there is no job description, ask for the job description. Every HR should be able to give you the job description or send an email with the job description. So once you have the job description, your half job is done. You know where you are applying, you know for what role you are applying. In the job description, there will be 10 to 12 points where it will tell you about the role and the responsibilities in the job, even for the freshers and the experienced candidates, both. So whenever you are going for the interview, just obtain the job description and read out the complete job description. That's very, very, very important. Without job description, if you go and attend the interview, high chances that you end up getting rejected, because you don't know what they are hiring for, and you will go there as an alien without knowing anything. They will ask you questions. Obviously they'll ask you questions pertaining to the job description only, because that's what they are hiring for. And if you don't prepare on the job description, you will end up giving wrong answers to them, and that will make you lose the opportunity, right? So get the job description and read and understand the job description and prepare on the job description. Go to their website. For example, if you get a call from Tech Mahindra, go to the Tech Mahindra website and try to understand their products and what is the company all about, when was it found, who is the CEO of the company, what are the products they deal with, who are their competitors. All this basic information, you will get it on the website, in the front page of the website only. So even if you get this 4 or 5 details about the company that you're applying for, and when you go for the interview, the HR asks you, this is probably a question that comes in the top 10 list of the frequently asked questions in the interview. What do you know about this organization? What do you know about this company? So you cannot say that, no, I don't know about this company because I'm applying here for the first time. That will make you lose the job, lose the opportunity. Because what HR would think that, he is coming for this interview and he doesn't know anything about the organization. But if you say a couple of points like, yes, I know about this, that, Tech Mahindra is basically a technology company. They take projects from, other clients, and they provide their services. They are into technical support. They are into, customer care. They are into financial business and all those things. So the impression that it creates is that this guy who's come for the interview, he's done his homework and came. He's serious about the job. So HR might ask you, how do you know, how do you come to know about all this information about Tech Mahindra? You would say, I have visited the website when I was preparing for this interview, and I have checked all these details on the website. So this would give an impression that, you have prepared for the interview. That is what they want to, actually look at, or this is what they want in the candidate. He has to be serious about the job, and confidence and knowledge. So when you talk about the details about that company, they will have the impression that, you have done your homework and came. That means you are serious about this job. So go to the website. Whenever you're applying for any company, you get a job offer, go to the website and check some basic details about the organization that you will get in the front page of the website only. How many employees they have, and what are the businesses they do, they are engaged into what kind of products and services. You can easily find out, and you can just say a couple of things about the organization. The HR will be very happy about it because you have done your homework. That's second thing. First thing is job description. Second thing is understand about the company's products and the value they offer. Very important thing. Third thing is go to this website, glassdoor.com. Okay. In this particular website, you just have to type the name of the company you're appearing for the interview. You will get all the details about the organization. Let's see if you're applying for Dell Computers. You just go to the glassdoor.com and put Dell International Services over there. You will get all the information about Dell, like what is the work culture in Dell. And you can just put interview questions in Dell for financial services or whatever job role you're applying for. You go to the website glassdoor.com you just put interview questions in Dell Financial Services or interview questions in Dell for technical support. So whoever have appeared for the interview in the past, those people come to this website and they will put their comments out there. I went for the interview in Dell and these are the questions being asked. This is how I replied. So you just go through those comments and all that. You get to know what kind of questions being asked in that organization when you appear for the interview. So all the people who go for the interview, few people go and put their comments in the Glassdoor website. So what you're doing basically, it's a paper leak. Normally when you go for the exam, if there's a paper leak, what do? You prepare, you take that paper question paper, you prepare in advance, and you get 100 marks in the exam. So it's like a paper leak out there. Interview questions are being leaked out there because people who have appeared for the interview in the past, they go and put their comments over there. What happened in interview? What kind of questions being asked in the interview? So glassdoor.com, go there and put the name of the company you're appearing for and the role, then you will get the questions. That is one more point for the pre-interview preparation. Very, very important. So you can just take some 10 to 20 questions and prepare on that. And believe me, you will, experience only those questions in the interview. What you take from this site, because that is how it is. Go to YouTube and you will also get same information in the YouTube. Interview questions for, or you can put generally without name of the company, you can just put interview questions for technical support, interview questions for accounts and finance, interview questions for accounts receivables, interview questions for accounts payables. You will get videos out there. Just try to listen to those 10 minutes, 20 minutes videos where you will get a lot of information about what kind of questions being asked in these type of interviews and how to answer them. You will get both the question as well as the answer over there. So that's one more way of preparing for the interview. And the next is Google. Go to Google and just ask interview questions for whatever role you're applying for. Just type that role and you should be able to get those answers out there and you can prepare for them. If you can prepare just on 10 to 20 questions, you'll be able to answer most of the questions in the interview. This is very easy for freshers. If freshers can do this exercise before going to the interview, they can make a lot of it. I'm sure that 80% of people who are coming for the interview, they will not do this kind of preparation. If you go with this preparation, you will be in the top 20, not in the below 80, but you'll be in the top 20 at least before appearing for the interview itself. So these are the basic things that you have to do before appearing for the interview. More than 80% employers reject candidates if they don't understand their business. So basically, as I said, if you don't know about that organization where you're appearing, they will reject you. Any questions over here? Whatever I've explained. If you have any questions on this slide, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll move to the next slide. Okay. So this is some basic tips, interview hygiene. When you go for the interview, what you basically have to do. This also comes under pre-interview preparation. So this is what it is. Prepare your outfit. Wash your clothes, iron it. Make sure that you are make sure that you are going with a nice personality out there. It's not that you just wake up in the morning and go for the interview. Prepare your outfit, prepare your clothes, iron it. Keep 2 copies of your CV with you and get a good night's sleep. Normally, usually what people do is they don't usually get a good sleep a day before the interview. That kind of ruin the interview basically. So get a good night's sleep. If you want to prepare for the interview, you can prepare after Fajr, okay, in the morning hours. But don't prepare late night because that will, disturb your sleep and that might have an impact on your interview. Okay. Plan your route. This is also very important because if you don't plan your route, if you don't plan your, if you don't confirm the address where you have to go, and plan your route, how to go, which route to take, and all that. There are chances that you might end up getting late for the interview. So that's a first impression. It's a wrong impression. If your interview is scheduled for 10 o'clock, and if you go there at 10:15 or 10:30, that will not give a good impression. So plan your route, plan your time accordingly, and make sure you are at least 5 to 10 minutes before, reach there 5 to 10 minutes prior to the interview time. Okay. Have a light breakfast, be on time. So these are some basic interview hygiene that you have to follow. Don't miss it.
Assalamu alaikum. Can I add one point here? Irfan
Yes,
here.
Please, Irfan.
Brothers, what you need to do is, before reaching on time, 5 minutes before, you have to ensure that there will be a security checks at the entrance. You should not be at the security check at 10 o'clock. You have to be there inside with the interviewer at 10 o'clock. So you have to have that provision of security checks in corporates.
Absolutely, that's very right. So at least, try to reach the venue at least 15-20 minutes before the interview time. That will make you more comfortable. So these are what you seeing in the screen on this slide is minimum span of attention disorder. So these are the first 3 minutes of the interview. Okay, this is the most important 3 minutes of your interview. Tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you? You are a fresher. Why should we hire you? So probably these are the most frequently asked questions. They will either ask you, tell me about yourself, or they will say, just walk me through your resume. So I hope that every one of you are good enough to give your personal introduction, right? I'll give you a few tips of your personal introduction, how to start your personal introduction. Tell me about yourself. So what you have to probably do is, after giving your name, just talk about if you have experience, just start with your experience. Okay, if you don't have an experience, if you are a fresher, just talk about your career objective, and always try to relate your career objective with the job description. You have a job description, you are applying for a technical support interview. Just say that, my name is so and so, and my career objective is to grow my career in a tech support industry, right? So basically what you're trying to do over here is you are trying to relate your career objective with the job description. So that kind of gives an impression to the HR that, okay, this person is kind of stable. He can show the stability in the job because he wants to grow his career in the same industry where he's applying for. So, and then you talk about your education background and your strengths and weaknesses, your hobbies and your family background, all those things that you give in the interview. All right. Just make sure one thing, that all your interview answers should revolve around the job description. Okay. Because there's a person sitting out there who is an operations manager. He has a project and he wants to hire few people who should work on that project, right? So he doesn't want to listen to what your hobbies are, playing cricket, listening to music, reading books. He doesn't want to listen to what you have done in your schooling and what you do in your free time. No, all these are nonsense. So you just revolve your interview around the job description. Okay, even if you're talking about your hobbies, just say that in my free time, if you're appearing for a technical support interview, you can say that in my free time I like to play with the gadgets, or I like to troubleshoot my system, or do a lot of technical stuff because I am passionate about technology. So that kind of gives an impression that this person is kind of a technical person. He is very passionate or interested about technical kind of things. So he is basically the person for us. We can hire him. So try to always connect your hobbies, your strengths, your career objective with the job description. That is very, very important. Otherwise, HR will not listen to you because there are hundreds of people coming and talking about same thing. I did my schooling from this school, I did my college from this college, I did my MBA from this university, and my hobbies are these, my strengths are these, my weaknesses are this, my family background is this. He would be listening to hundreds of people like that. you would also, get into one of them. So don't do that. Just try to relate your interview with the job description. All your answers should revolve around the job description. That will kind of give a very good impression to the HR or the manager, whoever is taking your interview. You are a fresher. Why should we hire you? How do you answer this question? You are right. 100% I'm a fresher, but everyone must start somewhere. I am personally very passionate about making a career in technical support industry. Again, what you're doing, you're filling the job description there. I am personally very passionate about making a career in technical support. I have undergone trainings and keep up to date with what's happening in the industry by reading and educating myself. I'm sure given a chance under your company's leadership and guidance, I can be successful in short time contributing to the organizational goals. So these answers I will send you in the email. Don't worry about it. I have an interview battle card that I can send you. So all those, whatever I'm explaining here, you will have a summary of it in the PDF. I will share the PDF with you. So you can just look at that PDF and appear for the interview. You can prepare on that. So got my point? You are a fresher. Why should we hire you? Yes, I'm a fresher, but everyone will have to start from somewhere. So if given an opportunity under your company's guidance and leadership, with a short time period, I will try to contribute to the organization, is what you have to say. Obviously, everyone cannot be an experienced candidate, right? They will have to hire a fresher as well, and then he will gain experience. I hope that makes sense. So these are a few more tips the day of the interview. Just check this, but look confident, be an active listener than a speaker. This is very important. Be an active listener than a speaker. Normally what happens when the manager or the HR starts asking questions, and you might know some answers. So what you do, you basically stop the HR in between, without him finishing the question. Don't do that. Even if you know the answer, just keep listening, and you can start answering when he stops. Basically, do not interrupt him or do not disturb him in between. Even if you know the answer, let him complete the question. Listening skill is very important in the interview. If you don't listen to what the HR is saying, you wouldn't be able to answer it properly, and that kind of give a negative impression to the interviewer. So very keen, be very focused and listen to what the person is asking. Okay, then once he completes, you can give your answer. So active listening is very important in the interview. Try to present a solution for their business problem. This is basically for the experienced candidates, right? Not for the freshers. Stay composed and don't panic. Obviously you don't have to panic, because this is just an interview, and rejection is not a rejection, but it's a learning. One thing you have to make sure that, whatever mistakes you have done in this interview, you should not be repeating the same mistake in the next interview. You should learn from your mistakes. That's when, you develop, you grow yourself, and, one point of time you get the job. If you don't learn from your mistake and you keep repeating the same mistake again and again in the interviews, then that means you're not learning from your mistakes. Take the feedback. If you get rejected, take the reasons why there's a rejection and work on those negative points or, improvement opportunities. And probably one day, obviously you can crack a job.
So one question regarding the third point, right? Try to present a solution to their business problems, right?
Yes.
So that may not be so straightforward, right? That may not be doable for all of
obviously not for the freshers. This doesn't apply. But what you can basically do is, for the experienced candidates interview, they would the HR or the hiring manager, they themselves put across some case studies. How do you handle this situation? How do you handle that situation? Right? So this is preferably for the experience, like 10 years experience, 15 years experience, 8 years experience candidates. These kind of questions come up. So then you will have to, give some solutions to the problem that, in my previous organization, this is what I have, I solved this problem. Similar problem appeared in my organization as well. This is how I resolved it. So, or you can give some suggestions also, but that is again, that depends upon the kind of conversation you are having with the hiring manager. If he's not comfortable in discussing business problems, then you cannot do that.
Yeah, hi. Actually, I try to present a solution for these business problems. How can one person answer this? I mean, either being fresher or experience.
Freshers, as I said, they will not ask you this question to the fresher. This is only for the experienced candidates.
No,
And
maybe it may be. I mean, if they want to ask, I mean, they want to look. I mean, the person may be ready to do work or not, can handle the situations, whatever it may be.
so they will not, if you're a fresher, then they will not give you the business problem. They'll give you the situation, right? They will give you the
Okay.
situation. Okay, how do you handle this situation? Basically,
Hmm.
suppose if you're applying for a customer care job, they will ask you, how do you handle an arrogant customer, right? The customer on the other side over the phone is angry with you. How he is using profanity, he's using all wrong words, he has some problem, but he's on the call right now with you, it's a business call. How do you handle it? This is the situation. So you can on the spot say that, no, I will first of all, uh, console myself that this is a business call basically. So whatever he's saying, it's not on my personal, on this is not on my personality, or this is not personal. Basically, he's talking about the business. He's got some what do you call, the dissatisfaction with the organization, so he's just showing up over the call. So I will first try to calm him down. I will try to understand the problem. I'll try to solve his problem. Once his problem is solved, there are chances that he might also come and apologize for what he's done using abusive language and all that. So once his problem is solved, he will definitely calm down. So I will not focus on what he's saying. I will focus on what is his problem and how I can resolve it, being a customer care representative. So on the spot you can say these things while giving the interview. So they will post some situations, and they'll ask you, how do you handle these situations? So it will be very easy for the freshers. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you so much.
They'll not ask you for the, provide the business solutions. That's only for the high experienced people.
Okay. One more thing is there. Hello.
Yes, please.
I've been an active listener than a speaker. I mean, if they want to speak, or either speak, or if you have to listen only.
Yes, as I said, even if you know the answer, do not interrupt. Okay, first let him
Okay.
complete and then answer.
Uh-huh.
Normally, it's the human tendency that, if you know the answer, you stop the interviewer and when you start answering. Don't do that, and try to listen to the question properly, because if you don't listen to what he's saying, you wouldn't be able to answer it completely. So active listening, that will help you in the interview, as well as when you get on a job and you have a job, customer facing job. It is very important, because nowadays we are handling people from all across the world, right? We are sitting here, we are talking to people from Australia, from America, people speak in different accents and all that. So listening skills are very important.
Is it a good idea to rephrase the question?
Okay. Thank you so much.
There are basic trainings like 1 week training, 2 week training that they will provide you once you get the job. The organization itself provides that training where all these issues will be resolved. Listening skills and accent, mother tongue influence, all these things will be taken care of. Or if you want to take those trainings before applying for the interview, then PSF does provide those kind of trainings, so you can also take benefit from PSF. This is very, very, very important thing what I'm showing you right now, and this is the last part of today's session. Okay, then we'll take some questions and we'll move on. So normally these are the questions that can land you a job. Trust me, these are very important questions. So normally when the interviewer asks, do you have any questions for me? So normally we think that the interview is over now because the HR is asking me whether I have any questions. So sorry, ma'am, I don't have any questions, and we'll end up the interview over there. Actually, your interview starts from there. When the hiring manager or the HR asks you whether you have any questions for me, your interview doesn't end there. Actually, it starts from there, because whatever he or she asked you in the interview, they will forget about it, because they'll be asking those questions to hundreds of candidates. But whatever you ask them, they'll remember that. So try to at least ask any 3 questions or total 5 of these questions when they want to listen from, when they want to hear from you. Okay, so at the end of the interview, when the hiring manager or the HR ask you, do you have any questions for me, ask these questions. What are the questions you're asking? First question is, what are some of the skills apart from the job description to be successful in this role? You're asking this question to the hiring manager. So what does it show? It shows that you are serious about it, and you want to work for this company, and you also want to get some skills that will help you in this role. So what are some of the skills apart from the job description to be successful in this role? This one question you can ask. Next question you can ask, what are some of the challenges in this role? What are some of the problems that comes up in this role? What is typically the career path for this role? This is also a very important question. Why are you asking these questions? Because you want to stay in this company for a longer time. So you are asking, what is typically the career path for this role? How I would grow in this organization if I join as level 1. What are the career path to get to level 2, level 3, level 4? So nothing harm in this, nothing harm in asking this question, because that kind of give an impression to the HR that this person is stable and he wants to work in this company and build his career in this organization. So what is typically the career path for this role? This is another question that you can ask. Don't make an interview an interrogation. When the HR is asking you questions and you are answering, interview is not an interrogation. It's like, police is sitting and, a criminal is sitting and the police is asking question, the criminal is answering. It's not an interrogation kind. Interview is always a conversation. You ask, HR would ask questions, you would ask questions. He smiles, you smile. So make it a conversation, not an interrogation, right? How do I compare with some of the other candidates? Okay, these 2 questions will, give you the basic understanding about whether you have whether you have been selected or not. Okay, if you ask these 2 questions, you will get a basic understanding about whether you have been selected for the for this job or not. How do I compare with some of the other candidates you have interviewed for this role? How do I compare with some of the other candidates you have interviewed for this role? How do I compare myself with other candidates who have already given the interview? The HR will say, you are good, or you are average, or no, I found you really good compared to other candidates. So that means HR have a positive impression about you. Next question, what are the next steps in the interview process? What are the next rounds? If the HR says that next round will be with the manager, or next round will be with the process director or process head or the senior HR, that means you are already through this round and you are going to next round. If the HR say that no, we don't find you fitting in the criteria to push you for the next round, that means you already get the answer that you're not selected. Sometimes HR says that we will let you know. So that's kind of you don't have to think about it anything. You can just wait for the HR's decision. So basically these last 2 questions will let you know whether you have been selected or not. How do I compare with some of the other candidates you have interviewed? What are the next steps in the interview process? So whenever HR ask you for the questions, just don't tell them I don't have any questions. Just ask these 5 questions to them. This will really these questions will land you the job, because HR will definitely remember what you have asked. They will not remember what they have asked you. They will always remember what you asked them. So these are some basic interview tips. If you have any questions, very important thing, just read out this. These are toxic employees. This is happening nowadays. So you have to be, away from these kind of frauds, basically the employers frauds. So how do you identify a toxic employer? Like a fraudulent employer, basically. Read these points, you will know.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Uh, Previously, the task question was, I mean, to asking the questions, what are best questions among those 5 questions that will help us to ask the any HR
Hmm.
manager?
The last question you're asking.
Yeah,
This
I
is the
mean,
slide.
yeah. Among these 5 questions, I mean, what are the points maybe you have given? What was the best questions? I mean, best conversation we'll have in this among these five
Top
questions.
three, first,
Yeah,
second, third.
top. No. Among these five, what were the best? I mean, if I want to ask any question, what
You
were
can
the
ask the
best?
top. You can ask the first question over there. What are some of the skills apart from the job description? If you just want to ask one question, this is in sequence only. So if you want to just ask one question, you can go with the first question. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to ask a couple of more questions, like 2 3 questions, then 1 2 3 would be good. Or if the HR has a lot of time and you have built that rapport with the HR, you think that this HR is good and he's talking to me, ask all the 5 questions. Normally they try to make you comfortable, because even they don't want you to be nervous, so they will make you comfortable. So if you're comfortable, then ask all the 5 questions. That will really give a good impression, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so
But if
much.
you think that HR is in a hurry, just ask a couple of questions out of these. But
Okay.
this is very
Thank.
important.
If the time
Don't
limit
say I
is
don't have any
less,
questions.
okay. Thank you. Yeah. If the time limit is less, I mean, if they have a little time, we may
Then
some
you can examine that, and you can take decision on spot. If you think that no need to ask any questions because HR is in a hurry or something, there are a lot of candidates waiting. Okay. But if HR herself is asking you whether you have any questions, then you cannot say no, I don't have any questions, because you are appearing for the interview, you prepared for the interview, you've done your pre-interview preparation, you went to the website and checked the website as well, then definitely you will have a couple of questions, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. So just go through this. These are very important things, because nowadays a lot of fraudulent things are happening. People are not having jobs, and people are, uh, the employers are trapping them and taking money out of it. There are a lot of organizations like this who are trapping the money from, the job seekers. So avoid all these things.
Yes.
So normally,
The
whenever people ask you for money to get a job, like the there are consultancies as well, HR consultancies, they will ask you for money. You pay us 3,000 rupees and we will get you a job. Don't pay, because a good consultancy, a non-fraudulent consultancy, they will not ask for any money. They will just make you appear for the interview. Once you get selected, the organization will pay the consultant, right, on your selection. So if any consultancy asking you to pay the money before the interview, then we will get you the job, you pay us the money. Do not pay. It's a fraud. 100% it's a fraud. They'll ask you for the registration fees. No consultancy would ask for a registration fee. If somebody is asking for you, asking you for the registration fee, it's a fraud. You receive an email with the offer before the interview. Nothing happened, no interview, nothing. You just get the offer letter. Once you accept the offer letter, they will ask you to pay some amount. Don't pay it. It's a fraud. Requesting your personal information. Don't give any kind of personal information. That is after getting the offer letter you can give. Before offer letter, don't give any personal information. Whatever information you have on your resume, that is enough for the employer. They will only ask you further information, your bank detail, or your uh, uh, what do you call, your PAN card, or whatever they need it for, opening your uh, account and all those things. That will happen later after getting the offer letter. So these are some fraudulent activity that's going on in the market. So you guys will have to be pretty much smart. So you already got a job. You are in the job of finding a job. Some will get it, some won't. So what's next? You are the best motivation for yourself. So motivate yourself, keep motivating yourself. You are the best motivator. No one else would motivate you further. You are the best motivator for yourself. So keep motivating yourself and take every interview as a learning. Don't take it as a rejection. Every interview as a learning. Learn from those mistakes. Do not repeat those mistakes, and you will get the job. I have given close to 100 interviews before starting my career. I'm talking about 15 years back. When I was doing my graduation, I gave 100 interviews, more than 100 interviews, and finally, I got into a corporate organization. So keep motivating yourself.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I mean, thanks to you for, I mean, keeping
Obed bhai, I
this.
want to add few things here. Can I?
Please.
Brothers, actually speaking, getting a job is a challenge, definitely. But if you are through with the job, there will be lots of great opportunities within the organizations. So what you need to do is, from entry to exit of the interview, you have to showcase your decorum in the before interview itself. The moment you are standing at the security gate, you might get delayed. Don't get frustrated and show your anger on the security guards or the office boys or whoever around. So you have been observed everywhere, every corner of it. Then the seating arrangement is made. You might have to sometimes stand, or you might have to sometimes wait at the entrance, or you have to don't have to be like a rude guy before interview itself. So you have to cooperate with people, your co-interviewees who are along with you, co-candidates like who are along with you. You have to always be in discussion with them about the general knowledge or general things. Some tips might come from them also for the interview. Then also before getting into the room also, people will watch, like especially the receptionists, and also there will be especially handling the female candidates. So you have to be very careful in handling the female candidates. You have to maintain a nice distance with them, and you have to generally, like normally what kind of people do is like they don't behave properly before interview itself in the corridors. They keep chatting, they speak loudly, they interrupt in different works. So you don't have to interrupt anyone. If you have to talk, you talk to your co-candidates in general discussion. It should not be a personal or discussion. It should be general discussion, like, and you have to be always smiling from entry to the exit. And after interview also, you don't have to discuss about the interview with other candidates. You have to keep straight away, come out. And if you're going out also, don't discuss things about the interview and go out. Because in corridors, people might listen to you. People might follow you. People might check on you. So you don't have to discuss anything. These are some etiquettes basically. Mashallah, Obed bhai has shown you lots of good tips on the pre-interview, everything. But there should be a little bit of etiquettes you have to follow about the personal etiquettes. Basically, it's nothing to do with interview. So it shows that you are from a very good background. So you are a professional, behaving very professionally. So this is what I want to add, Ubed bhai. Jazakallah. Sorry.
Somebody please take all the email IDs, or if they are in the WhatsApp, I will send the interview battle card. That's the summary of what we have discussed today. So it will be easy for them to carry, or before going for the interview, they can just work on those points.
Yeah, the one-on-one, I can take interviews also. If you have interview, if you land up interview anywhere, so you just give me a call or something. I will take one-on-one interview. So it will boost your confidence before going interview.
That's great. That's great.
That's when I can support you all part. If you get an opportunity for an interview, just let me know a day before. I will take a mock interview to you over the
Yeah, we
phone.
can do a pre-interview preparation for you guys. That's not a problem.
So we can help you out that way also. So, and we will tell you like you have to tell your organization. So we'll tell you like what industry it is. So you have to do your homework. Also, we will let you know how we can help you out about the organization levels also. So this is how it is. So Jazakallah khair. All the best to you. Do well. Always be preparing until you land up in the job. You don't keep quiet. Like before interview only, you don't have to prepare. You have to always be preparing until you land up with a job. So to speak with seniors, speak with industry experts about that job profile and all. So the confidence level will automatically change when you know the subject matter or your job role, basically. So every job role has a industry expert. Like if it is related to finance, so Obed Bhai kind of people who are like well experienced in the financial background. If sales and marketing or something like that, you can do it. For technical support or HR, you can have experts. Everywhere in your neighborhood, in your friends list, and all, you find out the experts of that industry and speak to them about the job offer or job interview. So they will guide you in that particular subject matter. If you're a mechanical engineer, there are lots of mechanical engineers working in production line or something. So they will tell you how the mechanical process flow works in production and things like that. So that gives you more confidence. It's not just general interview preparing. It's like doing the research of the job what you are applying for. So if you are perfectly prepared in terms of your job profile, then definitely you have more chances of getting the job than the other candidates.
Obviously, just remember one thing that you will have to obtain the job description and make your interview revolve around the job description. Connect your career objective with the job description, connect your hobbies with the job description, connect your strengths with the job description when you are giving the answers. Make sure you revolve around the job description only. That will kind of land you a job. And understand the HR's mentality. They never want to reject you. They just want few things from you. One is your communication skills. Second is your seriousness, whether you have really worked for this interview. So all those interview hygienes that I have showed, that will give an impression that you are serious about it. Pre-interview preparation, checking about the organization, going to their website and getting few details about the company and all those things. When you do your homework and appear for the interview, that gives a very good impression to the HR that you have done your homework and you're really serious about it. And third thing is you have to show your stability. Okay, like the last slide that I showed, if you have any questions for me, then you will have to ask few questions. So those questions will give an impression that you want to work in this organization for a longer period. And that's the reason you're asking these questions. What are the challenges in this role? What is the career path in this role? So it's stability. So these are the 3 points they actually want to look in the candidate: the communication skills, seriousness, and stability. In terms of the job role and all those things, that comes secondary, because they know that anyways we are going to hire him and train him. But these are the things: if you are not stable, if you're not serious, if you have not prepared for the interview, you don't have good communication skills, then you will face problems. So these are very basic things that you can prepare. And glassdoor.com that I have explained, go there. Whenever you're appearing for the interview, put the company's name, the job role, you will get the questions. It's like a paper leak. Get those, prepare on these 10-20 questions. You will get those questions on the interview. Just answer those questions. YouTube and Google, all those things. So utilize these platforms as well.
Yeah. How can I get I mean, all the questions regarding this? I mean, actually, I have missed some parts of this conversation. So,
You said you missed some part of this session.
yes.
I'm going to share a PDF that will reach in the job groups. You guys are in the PSF job groups, right? You can download it from there. You will have the summary of today's discussion over there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
No problem. So anything else, Ahsan bhai, Irfan bhai?
Yeah, that's all. Thanks a lot. It was very helpful session. Uh, yeah, so probably we should do another session in a month or so again.
I
And
have
then,
given a mobile number of mine. If you land up in any interview call, so just a day before, just let me know. I will take up a mock interview. Not
Right.
all at a time, as and when you want to know. So schedule me a day before.
that is very helpful, Irfan bhai. Actually, we were also thinking of conducting some kind of mock interviews in our weekly seminars also. So I'll discuss with you offline, and probably we can also come up with some plan for having a webinar just for mock interviews here.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Mm.
Brother.
That's right.
Probably we
Thanks.
can take next time the resume making process also.
Right. That is also in our pipeline. Yeah.
The resume is also a very important thing.
Right. So
So
resume
how a
making, and
freshest
then
resume would look like. We can share some sample resumes with the team, with the candidates, and we can make their update their resumes as well.
sure. So that is actually very helpful. And then we also were planning for LinkedIn profile, how to create your own LinkedIn profile.
Yes,
Apart,
yes,
I mean,
great.
we can combine both resume making and LinkedIn both. Uh, So that will be very good. So I'll send out my email address also here in the chat group. Please send me emails on this because I'm not able to copy the emails from the chat box. It's not allowing me to copy it. So please send me your email address. Just a test email on this email address, and then I'll send out the PDF. Also, all this video will be uploaded in the YouTube channel for. Uh, that we have for PSF. So I'll upload that and provide the link. Uh, Please go ahead and send a test email on this email address. That's all, Uber, right?
Yes, yes.
YouTube channel is also is on PSF.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel. So I'll send out a link here. Just a second. Just give me a minute. Yeah, you can subscribe. We are uploading all the. We have there's a skills academy also, so where we conduct uh, almost some technical sessions. So those are also uploaded there, so you can take a look at that.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. All the best. All the best. Keep in touch.
Thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot. Thanks everyone.
Postscript of this, what I would